the crib, the bassinet, the co-sleeper. What are your thoughts on, where you should put your baby down to sleep? I guess, baby sleep troubles are so common. And, we, as, a first-time mum, when I was pregnant, I just had no idea what to expect. I mean, you hear all the time, babies don't sleep and, you're never going to get any sleep again after you have a baby. And, you think that you understand what that means, but you absolutely have no idea. I mean, you cannot fathom,
Yes,
how hard it's going to be. Some people, maybe it's not going to be that hard because, they're blessed with a good sleeper, good for them.
right. Not all of us, for sure.
Yeah, but from, my experience, the vast majority of parents, trying to get their baby to sleep, especially during the night, is so challenging. And I just think, it would have been really helpful for me and my husband as well if someone had told us in advance, there's actually things you can do from the moment they're born, and, routines that you can do, and, gentle kind of sleep training, or, whatever you want to call it, things that you can do to help. And I just, didn't even know. And I only, reached out to you guys as well when my daughter was 6 months, and it was only then I was like, oh, there's a routine I should be following. And there's things that I can do to help herself settle. We were co-sleeping. She was exclusively breastfed. So setting up independent sleeping for her was really challenging for me. So yeah, I just think this information is so important for, expecting parents to be aware of before, baby arrives.
Oh, absolutely. I wish I knew a lot more before I had my first baby as well. I did read a couple of books and it seemed straightforward, but yeah, living it was very different. And we're definitely not alone. We get over 500,000 to a million people on the website every month looking for help with their baby's sleep. So
Wow.
yeah, I definitely feel what you went through as well.
Okay, so maybe just, basic question first, like what is baby sleep and why is it so different from adult sleep?
Well, so when a baby is first born, when they're newborns, the reason people say sleep like a baby is because newborns spend a lot of time in deep sleep. They're just, they stay asleep almost, day and night. And of course, there's a lot going on in the world when they first come out of the womb.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is as they approach 3 or 4 months old, their sleep starts to fundamentally change. Their brain changes. They go through a developmental period where then their sleep becomes more like an adult, technically, where now you have to go through sleep cycles. So where you might wake up periodically between sleep cycles, I check the clock to see how much more time I have to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does things like that. Babies then have to wake up and they have to know how to get into the next sleep cycle. What typically happens is the reason babies have trouble sleeping so much is because they don't know how to do that. And so obviously parents like us will go and try to get them back to sleep as quickly as possible. And we want sleep, of course,
Yeah.
And of course, babies are immature, right? They're babies. They don't have the coping mechanisms that we have. So they have to kind of learn how to self-soothe and self-settle themselves. And that's basically why, some babies are just more sensitive than others in terms of, just external stimuli and different things like that. And so that's why some babies are easy sleepers. They just stay asleep. They love sleep from birth. And then there's babies like my baby who, he had FOMO, fear of missing out. He just thought he was going to miss the party that we weren't having every night, and he just didn't want to sleep. So different temperament babies definitely make a huge difference in what type of sleeper they're going to be.
Yeah, definitely. And why do babies, when they're newborns, why do they wake up at night? So I found that, my baby would sleep all day during the day and, she'd nap so well. But then like the minute it was 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., she'd open her eyes and it'd just be like party time from then until about 3 a.m. Why do they do that?
Yes. Well, when babies first come out of the womb, what happens is when they were in the womb, when you're walking around during the day and doing all your normal daytime duties or working or whatever you're doing, you're putting the baby to sleep most of the time. So when they first come out, they have their days and nights mixed up because how they sleep all day and then they're up at night. And you might remember when you would lay down to go to sleep and then the baby wakes up and starts kicking you in the womb or something like that. Yeah. So at first they have to adjust that. So what happens is, light or sunlight stimulates our eyes, signals our brain when to wake and sleep. So it takes a couple of weeks to a few weeks for them to sort that out. But eventually they will start sleeping more at night than during the day. Now, some babies will continue to mix up their days and nights if you're not careful. So we have to make sure that we keep the room bright during nap time and kind of help that hormone production start to occur sooner rather than later.
What is a typical or an ideal routine for a newborn? And can you even put a newborn in a routine?
Well, yes and no. I mean, newborns need very little cueing that sleep is coming. But as they grow older, it definitely helps to kind of set the stage for sleep so they know it's coming. Mm-hmm. A typical routine does not have to be very long or complicated, but having it consistent is a good idea. But some people worry about making it too consistent. You don't have to sing the same exact song every single night or play the same music or do things in the exact same order every single time. But a very typical routine would be, changing diaper, putting on pajamas, maybe turning on some music, rocking or feeding, if it's time for feeding, that type of thing. And you're just kind of trying to cue that sleep is coming, close the curtains or the blinds, that type of thing. But in the beginning, the routines are very short, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. As they get older, they actually get longer, especially toddlers who tend to stall. But for babies, it's about 10 minutes. And if you just kind of do a comfortable routine for you, some babies like to be rocked, some don't, that type of thing. So you just want to keep that in mind and find something that your baby likes. And for us, we started reading books very young with both of our boys. And my older son, he even loves to read now because we started so early. So that's always a good thing to add into.
So with the newborn routines, I mean, some people do like, the bath bottle bed routine, or they will try and keep their baby up, for certain periods during the day, or feed them at certain times. I mean, is there anything like that you recommend? Or
sometimes. So we do find some people do well with the eat, play, sleep routine, but it doesn't work for every single baby. So I always caution parents about getting too stuck on that, because if their nap isn't long enough, then it's hard to get to the next, or the feeding comes too soon, for example. So, but it is a very good routine to get into if your baby happens to fit that mold. So that definitely doesn't hurt to try. So you would, feed right when they wake up in the morning, you feed them, then you play, then you put them down for a nap. Then when they wake up, you repeat that process all throughout the day. So as long as the naps are long enough, that's a good routine to kind of get into. And a lot of babies respond very well to that.
So next question, I guess the topic of sleep training. Some people believe in it, some people don't believe in it. But, let's go back to basics. What is sleep training? And why do babies need to learn how to sleep? How early can you start? And do all babies need sleep training?
Okay, well, I can answer the last question easily. Not all babies will need sleep training, for sure. Yeah. Some babies are just like naturally good sleepers, and I don't talk to them very much because they don't need my help. But generally speaking, sleep training is teaching your baby healthy sleep habits. That's how I define it. Now, sleep training can have a negative connotation, so we generally call it sleep coaching. For us, it's more about, just like we teach our children to have manners at the table and good hygiene, to us, it's more about just setting them up for success later in life with healthy habits. So, and that starts with sleep habits. Now, in my mind, as long as you have appropriate expectations given your baby's age, you can start guiding them there, from the very beginning. It doesn't mean, sleep training doesn't have to mean, you letting your baby cry it out or anything like that. It's more about, what can I do to help set them up for success. So
Yeah.
like we talked about a routine earlier, and sleep routines and setting up the nursery and all of those things, to me, is part of sleep coaching. Now, different babies will have the ability to self-soothe as they get older, and some babies can do it from the beginning and some can't. So that's where the naturally good sleepers come from versus those that will need help.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as they approach 3 to 4 months old, like I mentioned earlier, they're going to start going through sleep cycles. And what happens is we all have sleep associations. I sleep on a pillow with a blanket, and if I woke up in the middle of the night and my pillow was gone, I would wake up more fully. I'd look around for my pillow. I might even wake up my husband and say, "Have you seen my pillow? What happened?" And so for me, having my pillow is going to be important. Now, can I sleep without a pillow? Yes, but it would take an adjustment, and I might be up for an hour trying to figure out how to go back to sleep without my pillow. So what happens is parents will put their baby to sleep a certain way, like in the rocking chair or feeding them or bouncing on a yoga ball, and those become sleep associations. When they're newborns, sometimes you can rock them to sleep, put them down, and they'll sleep well because they don't have to go through these sleep cycles. But once they're going through these sleep cycles, that's when the sleep crutches kind of come into play. And sometimes we just have to change those habits. And that's where sleep training or sleep coaching comes in, is helping your baby learn how to sleep without being bounced on the yoga ball or without a pacifier if that's a problem, and that type of thing. So that's a little bit about sleep training, and there's different methods to it. So for us, as we kind of talked about, it depends on your baby's temperament. Some babies fuss a little, some babies cry like you're chopping off their arm, and there's everything in between, and some babies are more sensitive to changes. So we try to match up a sleep coaching method based on the baby's temperament, the baby's personality, their age, and parenting philosophy, because, how you feel about, any fussing or crying is going to also impact how you might change those sleep habits that you're trying to instill in your baby.
I think that's such a good approach as well, because there is no one size fits all solution, as you say, and it really does depend on your baby's temperament and your temperament as well.
Definitely.
Because again, I think she's more persistent than me. She will, the couple of times I attempted to sleep coach her, she would protest and cry to the point where she would throw up, and then I would back off. So I'd be like, okay, that's, something's not working. I'm doing it wrong. She's getting upset to the point that she's throwing up. I'm not going to do this. And, I'd give up after maybe day 3 or something like that. But, talking to, one of your sleep consultants, she was saying, that's probably just her temperament. And, she's going to try doing that every single time. So, yeah, no, it was really great to have the support as well. And when do babies start sleeping through the night? So some people say, I brought them home straight from the hospital, put them in the crib, closed the door, and, walked away. And now at 6 weeks, they're sleeping through the night. And some people have 3-year-olds that aren't sleeping through the night. So I think a lot of new mums will be like, when are they supposed to start sleeping through the night? When can they do it? When can I get my life back? It'd be great to get your opinion on that as well.
Yes, well, that varies quite a bit. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I just seen so many different types of babies and respond differently to like the sleep coaching process and different things. I would, the technical definition of sleeping through the night is 5 hours, but the problem with that is it might be 7 to 12. That doesn't help us get any more sleep, So, and also formula-fed babies tend to sleep through the night sooner if hunger is an issue. So I don't mean that to mean that all formula-fed babies sleep through the night per se, but with some sleep coaching, they are more likely to drop all their feedings earlier than a breastfed baby. Breastfeeding babies, we tend to see night feedings from, until 6 to 12 months old, at least one at night sometimes. So that makes a difference. The main thing, there's a lot of different factors that, cause babies to wake up. So if it's a feeding issue, then they'll sleep through the night when they can get all of their milk in during the daytime. And that varies by baby because, some 5-month-olds are taking 5-ounce bottles and some are taking 7-ounce bottles. That's going to make a big difference when it comes to feeding.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the issue is simply behavioral, where they need to be rocked to sleep or breastfed to sleep, or, it's not really a hunger issue so much, but just kind of a sleep crutch issue, I would say most babies can sleep for long periods of time by, 4 months old or so, but with feedings, Now some, it'll take a little bit longer to 6 months old, but
Yeah.
I'd say that's about when we start to see babies sleep in much longer stretches. Now, does that mean every night's going to be perfect? Probably not. They're babies. Some people will have, these mythical babies that sleep great ever forever after.
Mm-hmm.
And then some babies like mine, he's sensitive to changes. Some nights he sleeps better than others. He's not a robot kind of thing. And they're going to need us, their babies. So I don't know if hopefully that answered your question. I would say on average, it'll be around 6 months old with feedings if you're breastfeeding baby.
Okay, well, those are kind of my basic questions around, introduction to baby sleep, I suppose. So I just wanted to now talk about the baby sleep site. It's got so much information for parents wanting to troubleshoot or improve their child's sleep behavior. I found it super helpful, and I still find it very, very helpful and useful. It's got so much content on there. What's the most popular or common topic that you find that parents ask about?
Well, I would say probably sleep regressions or schedules, getting baby on a schedule, especially us type A folks really like schedules and knowing when the baby's going to go to sleep, but not all babies, cooperate with that. So that would probably be one of the more popular topics, just asking what schedule should my baby be on, or this schedule is not working. How can you help me adjust it? And we love to work one-on-one with people, but we also have a lot of resources on the baby sleep site. We have, a blog, and we have a do-it-yourself kind of membership site with VIPs, and you can get some premium resources, and we have ebooks, but we also love our sleep consultation services where we get to work one-on-one, because that's what we really believe is that all babies are different. So you need a personalized approach to how you help them learn how to sleep better.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of support to new parents, you have, the articles, you've also got sample routines for every age. You've also got paid one-on-one coaching plans, is it? And the VIP membership, which gets you access to premium videos and content and things like that. What else is included in the VIP membership?
Yeah, so in the VIP membership, we have ebooks, we have sample sleep plans, we have audio recordings. We also have something we call Ask the Author. So, when you're reading a book, you say, well, what about my baby? What they're doing? Well, that's what you can do. So on any page in the VIP area, you can ask a question, and a sleep consultant will answer a question within a couple of days. Mm-hmm. And then we also have live chat with the sleep consultant once a week. So you can talk one-on-one and just ask questions specific to your baby. So you can use the do-it-yourself resources, look at the sample schedules, and say, how can I modify this for my unique circumstance? I can't be at home from work at 6:00. So what should I do? Those type of what if questions. So, and we have probably more in there that I'm not thinking of, workbooks and, case studies. Yeah, we have case studies too.
Yeah, great. And I can't remember if I remember this correctly, but did you have express plans as well? Express sleep plans?
Yes. We have an express sleep plan. It's an automated product, but it's based on my 10 years of experience, where you answer a few questions in a survey, and it's a custom sleep plan. It's not quite the same as working one-on-one with a sleep consultant, but it's the next best thing. Yeah. And it's especially good for people who haven't really done a lot of sleep coaching and kind of just need a plan to follow. Then, it gives them a step-by-step plan. In all of our sleep plans, we give day-by-day plans. So we say, step 1, do this, step 2, do that, step 3, do this. So we kind of walk you through the process. And if you're working with a sleep consultant, then we also help you troubleshoot, and if something isn't quite working right for your baby.
Yeah, I remember, you give the option of, how much detail do you want in your plan? Do you want like a little bit of detail, medium detail, a lot of detail? So I chose the super, a lot of detail. Ended up getting like a book, and I was like, maybe this is a little bit too much detail, but no, it's very, very helpful.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we try to give enough detail that is helpful without overwhelming people. And sometimes it's hard to gauge that, but we want you to have all of the information at your fingertips, but we'll walk you through every step of the way.
Well, I think, it's been really informative talking to you, and I hope that a lot of new parents will get some value or learn something from our conversation today. And, it's going to allow them to feel a little bit more confident about what to expect when it comes to baby sleep. So, yeah, thank you so much, Nicole. It's been really great speaking to you, and I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. I love talking with your audience, and have me again anytime.
All right. Thanks, Nicole.